Cyberfrog, the Diary of Heather Swain. Okay, looking forward to talking about this one. It is a thinner comic, not like the other two that I've already reviewed, which I'll link to at the end. So if you guys have been following along, I discovered Cyberfrog not too long ago. Now, I had known about it in the 90s. I remember a couple issues had come out. I actually thought it looked pretty cool back then. I never read it, though. So I reviewed, what were the other two? Wrecked Planet and Blood Honey, and I now own those as well. So when I reviewed these guys, it was through an online copy, and I love them. So I figured, why not, actually purchase them? I do like supporting the creators. My initial hesitation was the shipping and conversion into Canadian dollars is an absolute disaster. And I want to show you guys this too, because this has come up as well as a point of contention or whatever. I have ISOM number 1, and it is signed. All right, right there in gold. So this is signed. So to show you that I did buy this and I reviewed it and I gave it a very good score at the time, mostly because I was excited for a new universe, a new character. I was hoping that this was going to breed a whole new kind of style of comic, which I haven't seen in a while. And turned out that it wasn't that great, in my opinion. I did read Yaira 2, which I did not like at all. I've gone back and flipped through ISOM number 1, and I don't like it at all. I think I gave it a high grade in the beginning. I think I gave it like a 7 because I was just excited. And I had spent just over $100 on that book that I just showed you. It was I think it was a $50 US price for a signed version. And then the shipping was like $25 or, whatever it was. And then when you convert that to Canadian, it ended up being just over $100. So that was my hesitation with Cyberfrog. Now, I knew Ethan, of course, from his work with DC, and I actually have some of his X-Men stuff that he worked with Grant Morrison on. But the art looked amazing on Cyberfrog, but I wasn't sure, and it was expensive, and it was this Indiegogo stuff, and I just So when they offered this 5-pack that I got, it was a 5-pack on eBay, came out to 185 Canadian for 5 books. So I jumped on that because I really did love those two. Okay. I'm going to have to pull a bit of a cop-out on this one. I didn't realize that this is just a short kind of one-off thing. This continues from Blood Honey. It probably could have been merged into Blood Honey. I understand why it wasn't merged, though, because it would have thrown off some of the pacing of Blood Honey, and it would have been like, why is this extra stuff going on? Like, let's get back to it. So it works as a one-shot deal where you can take it if you want or leave it if you want. I would definitely take it. See, it's difficult to review this because let's say you're reading Watchmen and after issue 6 or 7 or something, there's an issue where it's like Rorschach's journal, a small little one-off thing, Rorschach's journal. It's his musings. And then you're like, well, do I need to read this? Well, yeah, if you love Rorschach, then you should be reading it because it's Rorschach. So if you don't care about Watchmen, you're probably not reading anyway, so it doesn't matter. So to me, this is a must-have because I love Heather Swain. That's it. Look, you can boil it down to simple characters. I love Cyberfrog. He's great. I'm going to read the next one. That's it. Look, I'm gonna use my space thing, and I'm gonna give this a damn high score, and whatever. But end of the day, you want this or you don't want it, right? I can't review this as its own standalone comic, which is what I always do for comics. The reason is that if I did do that, the score would still be a good score because the art and the pacing are amazing in this. But it's an incomplete story because you really need to read the other stuff. So again, it's almost like reviewing Watchmen issue 7 in itself, in a nutshell. You're like, well, I mean, okay, am I supposed to ignore the first 6 issues? Like, how's that work? So as a story continuing from Blood Honey, I'm going to continue the rating of Blood Honey, which was a 2 out of 2 for the story, because I like seeing Heather's perspective on this. I like to see where she's end up and how she got there. And it also shows a little bit of what was going on in the world. This is a sort of perspective from someone living it through this terror. So that's an important story to tell in this Cyberfrog battle with the Vespas. So it's definitely an important story to tell. And if you like Heather Swain, then you're going to want to have her perspective on it. The pacing's a 2 out of 2, no doubt. It's very short. Nothing more to say. The art is a 2 out of 2. Everybody knows Ethan's an amazing artist. She's wearing a Tool shirt. Like, hello, you should buy this automatically. Here's your one splash page. That was great. There's not a lot of, I got to mention about the characters. We're going to talk about this, how awesome this is, but in a second. Look at this. This looks great. That is absolutely awesome. I love that she explains that he's just like a big sweetheart and he's a big fun guy, but like he's like this crazy monster. It looks really neat. So yeah, the art is a 2 out of 2, no doubt. Everybody knows the art is amazing in Cyberfrog. Characters, I'm going to give it a 2 because Cyberfrog's friggin' awesome. Salamandroid's friggin' awesome. And Heather Swain is damn good. I explained in my Blood Honey review about how Heather Swain is a great character who has the strength of someone coupled with like the will to survive, but has vulnerability so that she's relatable. One of the problems, big problems in modern comics for sure, also with Yaira, was that they present these strong female characters and they think that strong means invulnerable, unemotional, can do anything. And that's not to say that they're a Mary Sue or something like that. I've detached from the character. So like, nobody would say Lois Lane is weak, right? But she keeps getting into trouble and Superman has to keep saving her. So what, is she a dumbass or something? Well, no, she is a human being in the midst of a Superman, right? And there's a lot of crazy shit going on. So she's not going to not get into the line of fire. She wants the story. So what makes her a strong character is that she still is going to fight to get the story. She's not going to run away from danger, but she is going to get in danger sometimes and need to be rescued because that is how it works in the real world, but also in superhero comics. It's a trope. Someone's got to get rescued. And the Wonder Woman television series, which I absolutely love, I love it. Linda Carter is the best. Steve Trevor was goofy. The guy was always getting, he got beat up and tied up. You're like, Steve, what the heck's going on? It's a superhero thing. The trick of it is to still keep the character good and strong while having that happen. Heather Swain is a great example of a good female character that you actually care about, that you would want to read a story from her perspective. Enjoyment factor is a 2. So look, this is a cop-out sort of review because I'm continuing this review from Blood Honey. I don't see any other way to do it. Like, if you want me to just review this on its own, how would I? It's not the story. Then the story would be, the story would just be so fast. It's like, yeah, bugs came and that's it. It's like the intricacies of the story. There's actually a lot crammed into each page. So the pacing is amazing. So like that is still going to be great. I want to talk about this character. Look how awesome this guy is. Traumadeus. How awesome is he? That is just a one-off page character. He looks so great. So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I love this comic. It's a continuation of Blood Honey. If you love Heather Swain, this is a must own. If you do not care about Heather Swain, then perhaps maybe you can, I guess, skip this. I'm not sure why you wouldn't care about Heather Swain. She's a great character. Yeah, you need to read it to see her perspective on it. There you go. That's my review, guys. Please leave some comments and let me know what your thoughts are. Check out the other 2 videos, and that's it. Until next time.
Hey friends, you've just been listening to J-Man, and he is the smartest person who ever lived. So make sure you like and subscribe.